Hey everybody, TrinfiniteX here, back with Metroid Prime 100%. Alright. So I firmly believe this can be done in one stream. I consider the last run a practice run. So we're gonna go ahead and erase that file. Welcome Aurora, welcome Judex. It's good to see you both. I'm glad you like the new sub badge, Judex. Thank you both so much for coming. Okay. Let's see if I can get this done in one stream. I truly believe it's possible. Unidentified distress beacon has been tracked to a derelict space vessel in orbit above Talon 4. Oh yeah, that's... Hey, Braidnator! Salutations! With a lightning between each letter. Or in front of each letter. I still think this is an awesome intro cutscene here. Considering it was the very first 3D Metroid. It should start out in space, you know? It just feels right. Yes, Braidnator. I am restarting. I am doing an entire run. It's going to be done all in one stream. Yep. I firmly believe it is totally possible to get 100% done in one stream. And then tomorrow, we're going to start on Final Fantasy VII. I have never played a Final Fantasy before. I'm looking forward to it. No, trust me, this isn't a real speedrun. I'm pretty sure the speedrunners can get it done in like 2 hours or less. Yeah, the AGDQ run is ridiculously fast. Like, they'd be done in half a stream, or less. But anyway, here we are. The famous bounty hunter, Samus Aran. Just going through the beginning parts of this game. Game's gotta teach us how to shoot targets. While we're at it, we can play asteroids. If we want to. 1 hour, 36 minutes is the record. Yeah, that's a little bit faster than I can do it. Also, this is no out of bounds, to be fair. The speedrunners go out of bounds a lot. But I'm not doing any out-of-bounds tricks. All the tricks I'm doing are simple tricks. Simple tricks that anyone could learn after a very short amount of time. Okay. This will also be 100% scans as well. Anyway, some bad stuff happened here on the space pirate frigate. As Avalon so colorfully put it, space pirate science just evolves down into injecting this strange goo they found into everything that moves and seeing what happens, including themselves, by the way. There's no category for simple tricks only, so I can't get info on that time. Yeah. Well, Judex, hopefully this run will show you some of the tricks that can be done in this game. This is really, truly an awesome game, guys. It's a lot of fun to play. It has a few odd moments here and there, but, like, it really is an enjoyable classic, guys. It really is. Retro did a solid job on this game. And just like Super Metroid, like, if you guys have played Super Metroid, you know, one of the things with that game is if you're really good and you can do, like, wall jumps and bomb jumping and stuff properly, you can get certain things out of order and kind of play the game however you want and have a lot of fun. This game is similar in that respect. Hey! XD Man Z Cool 100 Super Yes Okay 19. Wow, what a name. Thank you so much for the follow. You didn't like Super Metroid? I mean, I know wall jumping and bomb jumping was kind of hard to use and the controls were overly precise, but still, the game itself was awesome. Well, this game is easier to control. Maybe you'd like this one more. Want to make sure to get that log file right there. That pirate data is the only permanently missable log. Once you leave the pirate frigate, you can never get that one again. Yeah, that guy did have a long name. Okay, Braidnator. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, Judex, I really think you would enjoy this. Like, even if Super Metroid wasn't your style, I think this game would be much more so. But of course, feel free to, you know, tell me your thoughts as we go through this. That's good, if you like the look of it. Also, thank you, Aurora, for the lurk as well. But yeah, so in Super Metroid, if you were extremely good at the game and you knew how to do wall jumping and bomb jumping really well, you could get certain items out of order, and you could generally just kind of, I think you can even do all the bosses in reverse if you want to. Like, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff, and that was very intentional, and that's part of what made Super Metroid such a classic and such a good game. Well, Nintendo and Retro didn't originally intend for that to be the case with Metroid Prime. They wanted you to go on a straight linear path. However, it turns out that if you're really good at certain very simple tricks, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do. Like, a lot of fun stuff you can do to get things out of order and generally have fun with the game however you want. There are simple tricks and there are complicated tricks. I'm only going to be showing off the simple ones that anybody could do after just a little bit of practice. Anyway, here comes the Smash Brothers stage. It's Parasite Queen. If you've played Smash Brothers anytime recently, you should know this stage. Grab the Parasite Queen data, and then we're going to use a trick called Rapid Fire Missiles, where we press A to fire the power beam quickly in between each shot of our missiles to refresh the cooldown on the missile and be able to fire our missiles way faster than the game would normally let us. It's super easy. And it also has the added benefit of effectively deleting the first boss of the game. For some reason, dropping a giant mutated Parasite Queen into a reactor core doesn't cause it to immediately explode, just, you know, start exploding. We're given 7 minutes to escape. We don't need 7 minutes. Like, I'm doing the slow, not out of bounds route to get out of here. I'm using the same route that everyone else uses. And I assure you we will be out of here with plenty of time to spare. Another Parasite Queen in here, but it looks like the pirates decided to abort that one. For whatever reason. You can use Morph Ball to speed through these tunnels. These little parasite swarms don't really deal any serious damage, so we can just ignore them. That's right. Lots and lots of tunnels in this ship. Like, I honestly wonder what these tunnels are for. Like, are these supposed to be the vents? There's some pretty big vents. Yep, just confirming I have all of the potentially missable scans, because it's no good to miss any. There are missable scans in this game. So, you definitely do have to pay attention to your scans. Anyway, coming up here, if you remember Samus's reaction to Ridley in Other M, where she just like had a nervous breakdown, and we started seeing her as a child having PTSD and all that. That was like super dramatic and over-exaggerated. Honestly, this is a much more realistic portrayal of how it should go. Oh look, it's Ridley again. Again. How we can fly in that tight corridor, we don't know. Shoot! Yeah, angry fist. Angry eyebrows. There we go. Hey, it's Bowser, yeah. Probably cooling vents? That's still some pretty big vents, Aurora. Still some pretty big cooling vents. Alright. So here's the dumbest part of the entire game. Getting bounced around by those little electric currents there. Yeah... In contrast to Other M, where Samus was just restricting the use of her items until Adam gave her permission, in this game it's actually even dumber. We just lose our power-ups by getting blasted backwards. That's kind of disappointingly dumb, however. At least, yeah. I mean, at least it's an explanation as opposed to no explanation for how she just lost all her power-ups between games. Thoughts on Dr. Pepper? I don't drink Dr. Pepper. Or soda, for that matter, in general. Only thing I really drink is water, for the most part. And milk, I guess, if you count my cereal. Yeah? Tracking on enemy target has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Begin landing sequence. Not even tea or coffee? No, not even tea or coffee. I'll tell you why in a second. Like, there's a reason. But real quick, I just want to go ahead and explain what we're going to do next. We're going to get space jump early. So space jump in this game is basically just a double jump, and it's located right behind our ship. It's literally right behind us when we land here. Now, if I had an earlier version of the GameCube, of this GameCube game, I'd be able to do a trick called scan dashing. So when you're locked onto something in this game, you can tap sideways and tap B real quick to do a dash, to do a quick sideways dash. That's only when you're locked onto something, and in the original GameCube version, you could do that with scans, like locking onto something for scanning it. In this version, they patched it out because Nintendo hates glitches despite the fact that it improves their games most of the time. Which is, it's kind of a sad design choice, but it's the reality of it. Anyway, Space Jump, for whatever reason, is right over there. We're gonna scan our gunship real fast. However, we can still dash when locked onto enemies. So, hold on. We're going to find an enemy, lock onto it, and then we're going to do a quick dash to be able to clear that jump between our ship and that ledge over there that we're not supposed to be able to clear normally. This trick is it's not difficult really, but it can be a little finicky, so let's see how this goes. Because of the version I'm running. This is a GameCube copy of the game, however, it's a later release. Yeah, I lost the lock. Okay. It's a later release where they tried to patch out a lot of the bugs. This is the Player's Choice Edition. So there's a lot of sequence breaks that have been patched. However, even with those holes patched, there's still lots of sequence breaks that we can do, as it turns out. So if we're careful, and if we're quick, we should be able to get up here, and if we line ourselves up ever so carefully, and let go of the dash button at the right time, we'll be able to get across. Like I said, this trick's a little finicky sometimes. You have to position yourself just right, so this may take a minute, but it's completely worth it, trust me. Getting double jump early will save us a lot of time, like hours of time. So close. We can get a big jump. The game gives us a big jump near our ship initially so that we can reach it. Yeah, definitely. Old NES and SNES sounds are definitely not pleasant to listen to after a while. Like, there were some brilliant composers that were able to use, like, the SNES sound chip to create some awesome music. However, it pales in comparison. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got it. That was like, what, 4 tries? Not too bad. And behold, space jump. Really early. Anyway, yeah, I am also glad they moved to orchestra and big band music and such. It sounds way better. Speaking of music, this game has lots of remixes from Super Metroid. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure this is a remix. I think. Talon Overworld here. I think it is. Okay, so we're definitely saving the game now that we have double jump, so... Double jump is going to save us a lot of trouble. You'll see. There are a ton of scans to get in the early game. I just like to scan the mushrooms, because later on we'll be seeing those. Yeah, some of the pitches in the SNES style get pretty sharp pretty fast. And it's not too bad, but it's still definitely... Proper orchestra music is definitely still way better. Significantly so. So we don't have to fight every enemy that comes our way. We can just walk past them. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Judex. If anyone, yeah, I've had people ask me what's my favorite game of all time, and honestly, I can't pick either. So, the game, because we have double jump, the game now thinks we're supposed to go to Phendrana, so it's giving us hints to go there. Little does it know, we are still way back in Chozo Ruins, collecting lore. And our basic items again. Speaking of which, the lore in this game is awesome. Like, it really is, Judex. The Metroid Prime series has excellent lore, and the best part about it is it's told entirely through optional logbook scans. Meaning, you don't have to read it if you don't want to, but if you want a good story, Metroid Prime's got one for you. That optionality of it is very nice. Anyway, so the game wants us to go through a particular path all the way to here to get missiles, but as it turns out, any missile expansion will give us missiles. We don't necessarily need the missile upgrade to use missiles. Which is, of course, excellent design. Hey, TrinfiniteX! Welcome to the stream! How's it going? Yeah, most games that I love are also Nintendo games. Alright, so this is supposed to be a wall that we can't get over, but because we have double jump early, well, we can just ignore this fight. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the fight, because this music that you're hearing right now will never go away. Well, it will eventually go away, but it won't go away anytime soon if we don't do this, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take all these guys out. Also, there's a scan that I would like to have. While this is going on here, hold on. Oh. There's also something else we can do. If my controls will work. Whoa, what's going on here? That's, we can stand on this tiny little twig here. You know, because it makes sense that Samus should be able to stand on this. Yeah, if you leave this room, the song will still play for a while. MutronX, have you seen any speedruns of this game? Have you seen this game speedrun before? That's actually a thing that happens in the speedrun all the time. So I am doing a no out of bounds sequence break run. This is a casual playthrough. It's not a speed run, but I like to use sequence breaks to have fun. So that's what I'm doing. So I already have double jump. I already have space jump. This is the Player's Choice Edition, so this is not the original version, but there's actually still a glitch that you can do to get space jump early. And there's rapid fire missiles to go ahead and kill the plated beetle immediately. Hey, the wall lowered. Look at that awesome power up that we can have already collected. You don't have double dash? Judex, you don't have Mario Kart Double Dash? Double Dash was an interesting game. You don't own it anymore, no. Ah, okay. Can use double jump to kind of cheese this. Scan the hives. Also, still, MutronX, I assume you're familiar with this game, right? Have you ever 100%ed this game before? Not 100%, no, okay. Well, it's a really fun experience. You should go back and do that at some point if you get the opportunity. And do you have the game? Do you have the trilogy version or the GameCube version? What version of the game do you have, Mutron? Because that actually is very important. Trilogy. Ah, okay. Well, since you've never 100%ed the game before, I feel like it'd be a good idea for you to 100% it, like, without any sequence breaks, but just so you know, the trilogy version is better when it comes to stopping sequence breaks, but not completely perfect. You can still sequence break in trilogy. Why would you sequence break? Because you can beat the game faster, and you can get items when you're not supposed to. And be able to use them ahead of when you're supposed to be able to use them. Really just for fun. I mean, honestly, that's the answer, is for fun. And because it's so incredibly easy to do. Again, the tricks that I'm doing are all going to be super easy tricks that anybody could do. Like, these don't require a lot of careful precision, like out-of-bounds nonsense. Believe me, navigating out of bounds is really dangerous in this game. But if you decide that you don't like the sequence breaks, that's fine too. You're not alone in that opinion at all. There's plenty of people who just don't care. Don't care about sequence breaking. Yeah, like Aurora, for example. But I think being able to play the game however I want is just fun. It's just fun. It's just for fun. Yeah, that's true. Trilogy does have the spring ball. The spring ball's very nice. I do appreciate the utility of the spring ball. Judex, you too? Yeah, the natural progression is fine. But, you know, there's lots of fun to be had doing sequence breaking. It's just, like I said, it's just for fun. Like, I've done the natural progression of this game many times, so I'm just like, I want to do some new stuff. I want to have some more content, you know? Being able to sequence break is effectively just that. It's effectively the ability to do the game in a totally different way, and in a sense, that means there's more content. You know? You can play the game in an entirely new way, and thus, it's more content than was intended by the creators. Again, just want to make sure I have Incinerator Drone and Barbed War Wasp. Absolutely critical. Because we can never get them again. These scans are, of course, boss scans, so... yeah. Don't want to mess with that. Ow. Let's get rid of these guys. It is possible to stand on top of Incinerator Drone and completely avoid the fire altogether. However, it's just one little problem with that. It won't avoid the Barbed War Wasps. The War Wasps will still get you. There we go. So Judex, wait a minute. If you like the natural progression of things, then how about all those videos you did of speedrunning Breath of the Wild? What happened to your love of natural progression there? What was all that Breath of the Wild speedrunning for then? Because that's not the intended way to play Breath of the Wild with bullet time bounces and stuff. Very important to grab this missile expansion, as we will likely not be coming back to this room ever again. And also, TrinfiniteX. Even if you don't intend to speedrun, still, I hope I can show you something entertaining. Quicker and not out of order. Okay. But Judex, Breath of the Wild has no particular order. You could honestly say that I'm just doing this to go faster as well. It just so happens that because of the way this game is structured, that means doing it out of order. But what I'm doing is just for a little bit of speed too, just because it's fun to go fast sometimes. And yeah, it's also fun to do it out of order. I don't know, I guess I'm just saying what I'm doing with Metroid Prime here isn't really all that different from what you were doing with Breath of the Wild. And honestly, Judex, you're better at doing that stuff than I am. Like that BTB you did, that you posted a little clip of, I can't do that. Like, not consistently. That bullet time bounce, that was a pretty good bounce, man. You're better at it than I am. And I've put in a lot of time practicing it, too. And I still can't get it. At least not as perfectly as you got it. Like, I know some Breath of the Wild tricks, but not all of them. Anyway, MutronX, have you played, let's see, if you have Trilogy, then surely you've played Prime 2 and 3, right? So you've surely played all three of them, haven't you? In which case, which one is your favorite? Which one was your favorite to play? Yeah. There are visual cues, I know. But it's not, it's also a matter of actually executing the technique correctly. No fall damage, because we're in a spacesuit. Go ahead and go in here. Grab charge beam while we're in here. Yeah, but positioning is a thing though too. Like for bullet time bounces, you have to hit the enemies at the right angle. Ah, no. Get the symbol. Go. Because, like, the angle you hit them actually determines the direction that you go. Like, all the enemies have, like, a hitbox circle. And the angle you hit them at will determine where you go. It hasn't seemed... it definitely didn't seem generous to me when I first started doing it, but at least the, like, actually doing bullet time bounces, like, in general is not difficult. But, like, controlling them is what I'm trying to say is the difficult part. Like, doing a bullet time bounce is easy, but controlling it, that's the trick. All right. You'll see me double-checking scans a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. There are way more talented people out there than me, for sure. That learn tricks a lot faster. I see them all the time. Like, I'm pretty good, but it generally takes me a long time to learn new things. If they're ultra precise, especially. Like, the more precision, the longer it takes me to learn it. Whereas I see a lot of people learning things faster than I do. Ah, I was trying to get them both. It's alright. Get out like this. Double jump is very helpful. Yeah, frame by frame replication of somebody's video. I try to do that too. But it for some reason I have difficulty repeating it over and over a bunch until I've practiced for like hours to get the repetition down just so. But I hear what you're saying about like that's definitely a method that I use. Odyssey speed running. Still couldn't care less about Odyssey personally. But I don't know, maybe someday I'll get it. I may someday. But I have lots of other games that I want to do before then. Final Fantasy VII, for example. A game that I am way overdue for playing. I don't know, Judex. I'm still of the opinion it's not the best Mario game. Good controls and good visuals by themselves. You know, that's great and all. That doesn't alone make it the best game ever. And Jump Up Superstar is okay, but I think it's a little overrated, personally. Like, it's alright. It's not that amazing. Yeah, it's not bad. But I just don't think it's that amazing. It's overrated, like I said. It's alright. I appreciate it, but yeah, you know what? We'll save first and then get that. Got a really good mirror right there. Let's go ahead and destroy the Warwasp hives so we don't have to deal with them anymore. Then we'll go ahead and grab the save station. Huh, you can actually stand on that. Well, I mean, I'm generally the type of person that that watches games before I buy them to see if they're worth buying. What I saw of Odyssey, and by the way, I did play it some. What I saw of Odyssey just wasn't appealing. Just, again, my biggest thing is always going to be that lack of a good reward system. I know I keep harping on that every time I talk about it, but it's kind of the truth. Hi, Mr. Warwasp. I just don't feel like it's good to reward players with a moon for no effort and for tons of effort. You know, the same reward for both of those things is just not how that should be done. And actually, I did play it some. Like I said, I actually did play it for a little while. And again, like, it's not a bad game. Like, it's not awful. Like, you said I have, like, such a bad opinion of it. But really, I don't. It's not that bad. I just don't think it's like the best Mario game ever made. Let's go ahead and grab this map station here. We also skipped a puzzle back there. So by coming this way with all the upgrades that we have right now, we're able to collect a lot of power-ups that you're intended to have to backtrack for, and so we are saving a ton of time. Like having Morph Ball and Morph Ball Bomb allowed us to go into that tunnel earlier. And that saved us a good chunk of time having to come back here to get them later. So now we can finally fight the boss where we're supposed to get missiles. Behold the Hive Mecha. Sends out war wasps after us. Come on. There we go. Ram war wasps. Basically just really fast regular ones. Oh gosh, Judex, I can't read that right now. I thought that was my, like for a second, I thought that was my my Nightbot dropping my social links. I was like, what is that? And then I saw it was from you, and I was like, whoa, what did you post? That message is huge. Give me a minute. Ever increasing amount of bugs are coming after us. Again, I know I'm double checking my scans a lot, but it really does matter that you get these now because you can never ever get them again. One more. Of course, stops behind me. There we go. You had to shorten it because Twitch was shouting at you about the character limit. Dude. I switched in 2018 with Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart. First played Breath of the Wild, honestly hated it. Yeah, honestly, the first part of Breath of the Wild's the hardest part of the game. I mean, let's be real. The most difficult part of Breath of the Wild is the Great Plateau. As soon as you're done with that, the game is fun. Because then you have the paraglider. 20 hours of Breath of the Wild, 200 hours in Odyssey, because it honestly is one of the best games I had the pleasure of experiencing. Last year I decided to give Breath of the Wild another shot. Felt so positive about it. And with an optimistic view of the game, and lo and behold, one of the best times for that game. Okay. I mean, like I said, Odyssey isn't a bad game. I just don't think it's the best game ever. I think it's not the best Mario game. Anyway, we'll go ahead and grab that E-Tank, and again, we're not supposed to have Morph Ball at this point, like after beating that boss. So we're supposed to beat that boss, get Missile Launcher, then have to backtrack to get Morph Ball. And then have to backtrack again to go through this tunnel. That's how the game wants us to do it. But we're not gonna do it that way. We're gonna step in here, grab this lore, and then run away. Then we're gonna go through here. And anyway, so yeah, like I'm sure someday I will give Odyssey a try. And maybe it won't be as bad as I've been making it out to be. Maybe. Like, maybe it won't be as bad as I'm making it out to be, but I still think... Yeah. I really doubt that it's going to be improving my opinion that much, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not unwilling to give it a try. Someday I'll pick it up and play it, and we'll see, but... I don't know. I just feel like there's lots of little things, like, you know... How many moons do you buy in the shop in that game? Remind me, Judex, how many moons do you buy? So now it wants us to go fight Flagra. One in each kingdom. Wait a minute, I thought there was a lot more than that. This energy tank is basically unmissable. I thought there was like 99 or something that you can buy at some point. Like, 'cause I remember I saw like a video on like... You can buy infinite, but they don't count towards completion? What? Why would they even put that feature in then? Like, that sounds genuinely confusing. Like, why would they even do that then? Yeah, that sounds kind of weird, actually. Like, so what's the point of buying them besides the ones you're supposed to buy in each kingdom? What's the point? I'm not going to bother saving before Flagra, because Flagra's not hard, really. I am going to get rid of that War Wasp Hive. And then, because we have double jump... Oh! Well, because we have double jump, we can fail that jump. I hit that piece of terrain. Oops. Let's not hit that piece of terrain this time. Instead, I'll just jump the wrong way completely. Alright, enough of that. It's funny how jumps that never give you trouble in practice suddenly come back to haunt you when you're not expecting it. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, what is this jump all of a sudden? Suddenly I am struggling with a jump that I have never struggled with before, ever. Like, legitimately, this jump is not hard. Why can I suddenly not do it? There we go, jeez. Never expected that jump to give me trouble. It's the streamer's curse. Because I'm streaming it, it's giving me trouble. Okay, yeah, hold on a second. There we go. See, that was easy. Why did I struggle with that 3 times? And get up here. More than one in each kingdom because they're not needed. I think the moons are there for people who need some moons because they can't find any or find the moons too challenging to get. Ah, for younger audiences. Okay, I guess. There we go. Alright. Flagra. Fair enough, I suppose. Alright, so, Flagra is our first real boss here. It's a giant version of an enemy that we will encounter later. Looks kind of like a blood flower to me. We'll see those enemies in a bit. Anyway, giant bug monster. The Flagra Fight is kind of annoying. Make sure you scan Flagra's tentacle. That is a separate scan for some reason. So this is how you're supposed to fight Flagra. You're supposed to turn off the sun lamps there. And then Flagra's tentacles retreat. You go in here, lay a bomb. And damage it that way. And then there's 2 sun lamps. And then 3. And then 4. This fight is known for how much it drags. Like, a lot. This fight drags quite a bit. However, it turns out that after you activate the first set of bomb slots, all the bomb slots become active and they have hitboxes outside of the actual slot. So you can just detonate bombs near them and it will work. Again, I'm using a few missiles here to keep Flagra stunned. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, no, this is not quite Vileplume. Well, I'll get to Odyssey later, though, Judex. Flagra's swiping at an invisible us there. An invisible Samus. Oh, stop it. Stop throwing a tantrum. I'm gonna go over this. There we go. And that is the quick way to defeat Flagra. Much like Spore Spawn, Flagra is a very slow and dull fight. Not terribly well designed, honestly. Apparently that's just a thing with Metroid games. Plant bosses and bug bosses just are not good. And there we have it. There's the Varia suit. Finally, we get our enormous shoulder pads back. This is Samus's magical girl transformation here. Floats up in the air and gains shoulder pads. Now we can tackle people and it'll really hurt. So because we kind of broke the fight a little bit, the sun lamps are still active. But hopefully we taught Flagra a lesson. Okay, so there is a way, there is a trick that you can do to get the Artifact of Wild early. However, I've practiced it. It's honestly a little too difficult. The precision with which you have to do the infinite bomb jump is just Yeah, doing the infinite bomb jump's just way too hard. I'll show it off real quick, what it's like. You're supposed to wait for the right timing. And you can theoretically, if these things push you up, you can theoretically lay an infinite chain of bombs there. And it will, that infinite chain of bombs will bounce you all the way back up into Flagra's room, and then you can get Artifact of Wild early. At least we didn't have to wait for Adam to authorize it. Yes, yes, in the lava area. So Variasuit allows us to go into hot areas like the Magmore Caverns without taking heat damage. Which of course is excellent, as that allows us to progress in the game. But yeah, anyway, that infinite bomb jump to get back up to Flagra's room for the Artifact of Wild, it's just, I decided it was just too hard for me. The timing and precision is really, really tight, and if you fail, you have to fight Flagra again. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion. But basically, the trigger that resets the room to be in the state where the Artifact of Wild appears is right down past where I dropped. Which is why you even have to do that trick in the first place. But, yeah. We're not gonna do that. We don't really need to. Instead, we'll find more bugs in here. Now here's the good music. Here's the good remix. Hey! It's a Magmore. So this is from the original Super Metroid, by the way. Artifact. Two missiles will open that. This track is from the original Super Metroid. Part of the reason that Metroid music sounds the way it does is because the composer for Super Metroid deliberately composed the soundtrack consisting only of sounds from the game itself. The intention being that each track should sound kind of like a living creature, should have kind of a heartbeat or a life of its own, and not necessarily just be a proper piece of music. Which is why Metroid music sounds so unique. Because it was actually a really good idea that has since been copied in other Metroid games. Okay, I'm standing on the right ledge here, right? Yeah. Should be. Yeah, there we go. I didn't hold forward enough. Game, I need you to stop screwing me up on really simple jumps, that'd be great. Get up there. There we go. Alright. So, like, if you listen to this track, that firm drum beat in the background kind of does sound like a heartbeat. to go along with the melody. And if you listen to other tracks from Super Metroid, you can hear sort of just like either a breath or a heartbeat or some kind of very distinct rhythm to each track. It's really fascinating. Ah, I got grabbed. No. Have a bomb for your trouble. Oh my gosh. Somehow he got me and not all those bombs I laid. Well, fine. I wanted to go that way anyway. Alright, so that's 2 more missile expansions out of the way. So we won't need to come back through here again. You can tell we're not intended to have double jump yet still. We have not quite yet reached that point. But where we're headed is where we're supposed to get the power-ups just before that. So we will soon be at the point where double jump is expected again. Turns out that poison gas doesn't actually hurt that much. Rapid fire missiles is extremely useful. And this game drops so many missiles like so easily and so quickly. The first time I played this game, like I was always super conservative with my missiles. Because, you know, that's just usually the way you play a game at first, is you're always super conservative with anything that has limited ammo. And then I started to realize the game drops missiles, like, everywhere. So honestly, we actually don't need to be that conservative. It's not like arrows in Breath of the Wild. Double bomb jumps take a little practice, for sure. But this E-Tank is meant to encourage you to get good at them. They're actually not required for very much in Metroid Prime. Double bomb jumps are only required for that E-Tank and 1 missile expansion. I don't think you actually need them for anything else. So here we are in Phendrana. We've made it all the way here in about an hour. Snow and ice everywhere, and plenty of new creatures to scan, of course. The most irritating of which are these flicker bats here. Game's going to tell us about a save station, but we're just going to find the save station. We still have about 10 more minutes before break, and you'd be surprised just how much ground we can cover in 10 minutes. Again, having double jump early, we can actually skip large chunks of this area. Thank you, Judex, for coming back with full attention. Actually, before we do that, this is a scan over here that we need to get. This is a permanently missable scan. If you collect Thermal Visor, these creatures will be gone forever. The Ice Burrower. It's literally just a copy and paste enemy from Magmor, but given an ice attribute. That's one of those first game syndrome kind of things. Copy and pasted enemies. Yeah. We'll go ahead and scan the baby Shegoth here. Still making that mistake. I'm calling them Shegoths when it's Shegoth. We'll get the Ice Shriek Bats. The Ice Shriek Bats are another enemy. They go away forever after you collect Thermal Visor, so make sure to collect that scan. You were playing some 51 worldwide games? What? Huh? For some reason, a stalactite that's been damaged is considered a research scan that you need to scan. It is a limited scan. Clubhouse games on Switch? Ah. Interesting. Clubhouse Games is a terrible title? That sounds okay to me. Or is it maybe just not very descriptive? Let's turn around. Grab the Chozo lore there. Huh. And, well, I mean, I assume it's a game collection, right? I mean, 51 worldwide classic games, right? That's what they were going for. What's it got in it? Like, what kind of games are we talking? And now we have Boost Ball. The upgrade just before Double Jump. Or Space Jump. I'm gonna keep calling Space Jump Double Jump because that's exactly what it is. Oh no, the platforms are gone. Guess we gotta learn how to Boost Ball. Card games, board games, fishing, air hockey, checkers, chess. I see. One of those game collections. It's like We Play, but better. Fair enough. Gonna run past these enemies because much like many other Nintendo games, we are not required to fight these enemies. Go ahead and tell me where it's at. We found another half-pipe structure. You should go to it. Hey, look. Guess who it is? It's the majestic shape of a dragon flying above. At least still out here. But we're not going to concern ourselves with Ridley just yet. Is that wind blight? The majestic form of wind blight hovering over the landscape. Alright, we will get rid of this Shegoth, though. Or Shegoth. Oh my gosh. Baby Shegoth. Ugh. Goodness. I think someday I'd remember. 2 for 1. Excellent. Alright, we do need to scan these ice parasites, though. They are also a creature that disappears after thermal, for some reason. Or shortly after thermal, they are limited. Yep. This is the Metroid Prime equivalent of Snowhead Temple here. Little bit. Man, Snowhead wrecked me the first time. Like, the very first time I played Snowhead Temple, Avalon was there, he can attest to this. That temple was super confusing the first time through. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Meanwhile, Great Bay was awesome. Like, I loved Great Bay. And everybody says that's the worst one. But I had the most fun with that. All right. So here we go. Time to fight our first adult Shegoth after we kill all of its children. That were, like, locked behind these cages for some reason. I liked Stone Tower even more than Great Bay. Like, I literally think the dungeons in Majora's Mask got better. The deeper in you go. Yeah, Stone Tower was amazing. That soundtrack, man, you can never, ever forget it. So here's the adult Shegoth. Basically, we have to wait for Ice Breath, and then we pound it with missiles. We can also roll up and drop Morph Ball bombs under it, and that will also work to damage it. Yeah, I guess you could say that the Shegoth is like an ice version of King Dodongo. Sorta. Anyway, Wave Beam. So unlike Super Metroid, where the beams just stack, with Metroid Prime, they don't stack. Instead, they're separate beams, each with different properties. The Wave Beam has the electrical property, the electric element. And each beam does different things. And personally, I kind of like it that way. It's the ice imprisoned from Skyward. I don't know. I mean, I guess the imprisoned kind of has the same shape-ish. I think King Dodongo's a closer comparison, though, personally. Alright, so we're headed back because before we proceed forward, we're actually going to do some more sequence-breaking tricks. It's time to get Ice Beam. And along the way, we'll save at our ship and go for a quick break. Or wherever the nearest save station is. I think the nearest one is all the way back at our ship. Just gonna ignore the turrets. We don't have to fight all enemies. We can run from them. So, down this path that we didn't go down before, it happens that there is another transport to Talon. And that will save us lots of time. Majora's Mask is an excellent game. For sure. I'm still of the opinion Ocarina was better. However, not by much. I do believe Majora's Mask is a good game. And most importantly, I believe that those two games complement each other very well. Like, if you've played Ocarina, it will improve your appreciation for Majora's Mask, and vice versa. Like, I appreciated Ocarina of Time before playing Majora's Mask, but I appreciated it more afterwards, when I started to see how they complement each other really well. We're just gonna ignore this, because we can jump through this. At the cost of a little health, we can go fast. And there's our transport to Talon Overworld. I'm just doing that to mark the map a little bit. Yeah, that's true. The first time playing a really good game without knowing what happens. Blind playthroughs are fun to do from time to time. But there's also a lot of gamers, though, that have a tendency to play things blind and then never go back and play anything ever again. Like, they never replay games, and so they miss out on a lot of content. I feel like that's such a shame. You know, if you're gonna buy a game, it should be a game that you know you're gonna come back to, you know, a lot, and actually get the full value for your money's worth out of. Breath of the Wild is definitely one of those games for me. I've played that game far too much. Also, yeah, Mario Galaxy. Excellent game. Truly fun and enjoyable. Hey, look, it's a mini Flagra. Also, you're working on Shinra Tower in 7 Remake, huh? So what path did you choose, Aurora? Did you choose stairs or elevator to be, like, the actual path you went on? Because, like, you saved before each one and you've experienced them both, but... Oh, you decided stairs? Ah, those sore thighs, yeah? Stairs was pretty funny in 7 Remake. They did a great job with the comedy in that game. 7 Remake is an excellent game. Someday I will I will have to play it. Here's hoping they give a Steam release someday. That's what everyone's hoping for, is that someday there'll be a Steam release for us PC players. Because I don't want to buy a PlayStation 4 just for 7 Remake. But even before that, I have to play Final Fantasy VII so I can truly appreciate the remake, which is what we're doing tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to go to break real quick. I'm going to run some ads, and then I'll be back in just 2 or 3 minutes. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is where most people tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. And while I would appreciate you doing all that, if you enjoyed my content, come check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrinfiniteX so you can watch and chat with me while I make these. I'm a family-friendly streamer, so everybody's welcome. Throw me a follow on Twitch and Twitter so you can get notifications when I go live. Links will be down in the description. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to meeting you.